everyone, I'm Cecilia, the intern here at Prineville Athletic Club, and as promised today we're going to take a moment to check in with our bodies and do some breathing. Checking in can be beneficial because we can be carrying extra tension in our bodies due to stress and anxiety. I know these last few weeks have been pretty difficult for quite a few people, so by checking in, we'll be able to alleviate some of that tension, which hopefully will calm our nervous systems and help us to calm our minds and our bodies. The first thing that we want to do before we start is to have an intention. An intention is just what you want to get out of this, a goal. So for me, my intention is aware, present, and relaxed. I want to be aware of my body and how it's feeling. I want to be present as we flow through each part of our body to relax. And then I want to relax my body so that I can let go of any tension that I'm carrying and relax and calm my mind. If you can't think of an intention, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to have one. Your goal could just be to be here in the now and breathe. Another thing is to have a positive affirmation. So for today's positive affirmation, I want us all to think of, I am in charge of how I feel, and today I choose happiness and to be thankful. So there are a couple of different ways that we can position our bodies to check in. The first way is like I am now seated, and you can be seated in a dining room chair, which is what this is. You can be seated in your recliner. I have a pillow behind me so that I can be a little more comfortable. But however you're seated, you want to have your feet flat on the ground. You don't want to be cross-legged just because being cross-legged could potentially tense up some areas or cut off circulation, or you could end up not being able to be aware of where you are as we check in with our bodies. So just having your feet flat makes it easier to start with your toes and move your way up your body. The second option that we have is to be down on the ground. So I recommend having a yoga mat or a blanket or something if you have a harder surface like tile or wood, just because those surfaces tend to be a little cooler and you want to be comfortable while you're trying to relax. So for being on the ground, there are two options. You can have your feet flat here on the ground, and then you can lay back. If you have low back issues, this is the position that I recommend. I also recommend taking a pillow and putting it behind your head just to have that extra support for your neck, especially if you have any stiffness or any mobility issues in your shoulders and neck and head. The other option for laying on the ground is to have your legs straight out. And again, if you need more support, you can take another pillow and put it wherever you need. So if you need it here behind your knees, or if you want to take it and prop your heels or your feet up on it, that's totally fine. So I'm going to move back into the chair and we'll get started. So what we first want to do is just start with some breathing. So we're going to start with some belly breaths. So the belly breaths involve poking your stomach out while you breathe in, and then bringing it in as you exhale. So we're going to breathe in through our noses, and then we're going to breathe out through our mouths. And we're going to do that 4 times. So in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And also, it's okay here to close your eyes. You can keep your eyes closed throughout this whole entire exercise, or you can look down, or whatever's comfortable for you. I have a tendency to close my eyes. So this time, we're going to breathe in, we'll hold for 2, and then we'll exhale for 4. And so let's do that 2 times. So we'll breathe in, hold, and out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And in, hold, and out. Let's take a moment to wiggle, roll our shoulders, wiggle our toes. All right, and now let's move into checking in with our bodies. We're going to start with our toes. Notice how your toes are feeling. You holding any tension there? Does it feel like there's buzzing from any sort of anxiety? Just take a moment to wiggle your toes. Now let's move up to the arches. Is there any tension? Are they feeling a little tight? Take a moment to flex your toes. Good. Now make sure to breathe in and out. Next, let's move to our ankles. We can take our ankles and we can flex, and we can point and flex and point. And let's do some circles. And you might hear a little bit of popping, and that's okay, as long as you're not in any discomfort. And let's go the other way. And again, you might hear a little more popping like me. Good. And breathe in and out. And in and out. Next, let's move to our calves and our shins. Take a moment to flex through our ankles. Maybe bring our legs up and flex and back down. Let's take a moment to focus on our knees. Notice if you're feeling anything in your knees. Take a moment to wiggle. Maybe bring our legs up and down. Sometimes when we're checking in, other parts of our body might come to the forefront, and that's okay. Acknowledge that body part and then move back down to where we are. Also, if any thoughts appear, that's totally fine as well. Just acknowledge that thought and then move back to where we are. So breathe in and out. Let's move up to our quads and our hamstrings. See if you're holding any tension there. Take a moment to bring your leg out and tense. And exhale and relax. Same thing on the other side. Breathe in and tense. Exhale and relax. And take a moment, you can, to swing your legs if you want. If you're laying on the ground, you can take a moment and windshield wiper your legs. Breathe in and out. Now let's take a moment to move into our glutes and our spine and our core. So let's focus on the front of our core, which is where we have our abs and our stomach and our intestines. And Take a moment to breathe in and out. Notice if you're feeling any discomfort in here, if you're holding any tension, just take a moment to breathe in and breathe out. And now let's wrap our focus back to our spine. Notice if you're feeling any pain in your low back or your mid back or up towards your shoulders. And breathe in and out. If you'd like to, and you're seated, you can take a moment and just fold forward just for a little bit. Let your head relax. Breathe in and out. And then come back up. Now let's wrap our focus back to the front, to our ribs and our chest and our hearts. Notice if you're feeling any anxiety, any stress, and breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. And we're going to breathe in and hold and out for 4. Now let's take a moment to go into our shoulders and our upper arms. Take a moment to roll our shoulders back. Notice if you've been hunching. If you're hunching towards your ears, take a moment to just bring them back and down. Bring your shoulder blades down your back and breathe in and out. And breathe in and out. Now let's move down to our forearms and our wrists and our fingers. Notice if you feel any tingling from any sort of anxiety or if you are tensing in your fingers. Take a moment to roll your wrists and roll the other way. Wiggle your fingers and then tighten and relax. And let's tighten again and exhale and relax. Good. Now we're going to breathe in for 2, hold, and then exhale for 4. So breathe in, hold, and exhale. Good. Now let's bring our focus back up through our arms into our necks. Notice if you're holding any tension in your neck or if you feel any soreness in your throat. Take a moment to breathe in and breathe out. And now we're going to take a moment just to do a half head roll. And then the other way. And let's do it one more time this way. And one more time the other way. And bring our heads down to our chest and up. And only go as far as is comfortable for you. And let's tilt towards our shoulders. And then turn our heads, but only as far as is comfortable for you. And a couple more head rolls. And breathe in. And exhale. And let's breathe our arms up. like we're trying to reach to the sky, like a string is pulling us to the heavens, and back down. And then let's hug ourselves tight, and exhale. And one more in, and exhale. If you have your eyes closed, you can keep them closed or soften your gaze down to the floor to slowly bring our gazes back. And let's think of our positive affirmation one more time. I am in charge of how I feel, and today I choose happiness and to be thankful. Let's bring our arms up one more time. And exhale out. Well, thank you for taking a moment to check in and relax with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.